guys, we're here today to do Sophie's 9-month update. Alright, so to start out with stats. She hasn't really been gaining a ton of weight this last month. She's still in the 18-pound range. She's like 18 pounds 4 ounces based on my home scale. But what she has done is grown in length. So I wonder if she was, bulking up in weight and then now she's had a growth spurt. So those are her stats. She's still wearing 9-month size clothes, some 12-month size clothes. The onesie she's in today is a 12-month size. It kind of just depends on the brand. And she even still fits into a couple 6-month size onesies, again, depending on the brand and depending on the fabric and how sort of stretchy it is. She's very talkative. This last month she's been exploring all sorts of new sounds. So one of the things she does a lot is babbles a ton, except one of the things I've noticed her doing differently this month is she's sort of starting to copy inflection. So instead of just experimenting with different sounds and syllables, she's experimenting with the pitch of your voice, and it almost sounds like she's imitating your speech. So she goes da 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 da. Anyway, I probably sound ridiculous doing that. What did I just say? Did I say something? Anyway, so she's doing all sorts of different kind of pitches with her voice now, and it's really, really cute. She's also learning that we respond to different sounds that she makes. So, for instance, when she's in the car and in her car seat and wants to be out of it, she starts almost trying to get herself to cry. And I'm watching her in the mirror because there's a mirror in her car seat, and she's not crying, but she makes these sounds like she's crying because she knows that I come to her when she cries. So even if she's not crying for real, she will try to get herself to, trying really hard to make it sound like she's crying. So she's learning that different sounds get different responses out of me and my husband. Yeah. So her sleep this month has also been a little bit different, has hit a few new milestones. The first big one I want to talk about is that we moved her into her own bedroom. That was a big deal for us, and how beautiful, thank you. When we were talking about our plan for her sleep, we were going to keep her in our room until she was 1. She has been sleeping in her own crib in our room for the last month or a little bit more than a month. And we were going to keep her in there until she was 1. But turns out for this situation, that wasn't going to be the best for us because she's a very light sleeper, and what was happening is that every night when we would come into bed, she would wake up, and it was like anytime one of us just rolled over in the bed, or even, I swear, sometimes I feel like just our thoughts, thinking something is too loud for her, and she would wake up. So it turned out she just wasn't sleeping very soundly in the same room as us because she could hear us. So we ended up moving her to her own room in her own crib, and that transition was no problem at all. Nothing big whatsoever. The big transition for us was moving her from our bed to her own crib, and we had already done that. So after we made that big transition, moving her to her own room was just sort of natural and made sense. She still wakes up at night. On a good night, she'll wake up once. On a usual night, she wakes up 2 or 3 times, and hopefully I can get her back to sleep. Usually I can. She also has been starting to wake up a bunch in the evening. After I put her down the first time, she wakes up at least twice before my husband and I go to bed a couple hours later. So she's been, I don't know, babies are so fickle with their sleep, and anything can throw it off. So I don't know what's going on, but she did have one night this month. You want that? She did have one night this month where she didn't wake up at all. Okay, so this is an example of what I was talking about, how she uses her sounds to communicate more now. She was frustrated at me because I took her away from the camera. She wanted my cell phone, and she just yelled. She wasn't really crying, but she was using her voice to let me know what was up. So yeah, there was one night, and it's the first night in her life where she slept from, she was like down by 8 o'clock at night, and she woke up the next morning at 7:15. And it was incredible. Like, my husband and I woke up like before her, and I was like, is she okay? You know, I was looking on the baby monitor, and yeah, she slept through the whole night. So that was really cool, and hopefully there'll be more nights like that. Her naps, that's another change this month. So from 8 to 9 months, that's the period of time we're talking about, she went from 3 naps a day to 2 naps a day. So she's officially taking 2 naps, and that is all she needs. She will not do a 3rd nap. That also just sort of happened naturally. She just kind of dropped that middle nap. She still takes a morning nap and an afternoon nap, but she was taking like a quick little snooze around lunchtime. She no longer does that. So, what else with sleep? I guess nursing is related to sleep, and she is still nursing. It's still going very well. I don't see an end in sight. I don't really have a plan when it comes to weaning her. I believe, like, my whole parenting philosophy, if I had to, like, ascribe to some type of philosophy, is to be authentic to who you are, because the best kind of parents are the ones who are authentic and the ones who do what comes naturally. And so that could look like a lot of different things. So in my case, the authentic thing for us and for our relationship as, you know, mother and baby, in my case, that is a breastfeeding thing. We have a wonderful breastfeeding relationship, always have. Like, she took to it really well, and just at this point I feel like it comes very naturally. It's something that I love. Like, it's a great parenting tool. It's very useful and helpful in a lot of situations, so I don't foresee myself stopping that when she's 1. As far as like trying to like think about the future, I just want her to decide when she's done. So it's not like I have some philosophy or belief that, you know, everyone should breastfeed for X amount of time or whatever. I just think I'm going to do whatever feels natural, and I kind of just want her to decide when she's done and let that happen gradually and naturally, the transition away from breastfeeding. So for now, it's going strong, and it's going to continue doing that until she decides that she's done with it. So other things about this month, she is acting a lot more like a big girl. You know, she's starting to do big girl things. One of the things that I've introduced her to before, like a month ago, and I've been doing consistently, is taking her to this little playground next to my mom's house, and she's really starting to like that. One of the things she learned how to do this month was climb up stairs. My mom has 2 floors in her house, so she's got a nice big staircase, and Sophie started going up that staircase, and she learned it really fast too. It's like she did it once and was kind of hesitant, and then right after that she was like a pro at going up the stairs. She can't go down, obviously, and somebody always has to be very close when she's doing that, but she absolutely loves climbing stairs, being adventurous. Another one of my parenting approaches, my husband and I, the way we have been with her so far, again, it's not necessarily something I plan to do, but just as what's come naturally, is to let her be very independent. Now, obviously, your role as a parent is to protect your child from catastrophic injuries, and you need to keep them safe, so obviously everything within safe boundaries, but I do, for the most part, let her be very independent, and even when she's doing something that scares me. So again, I put myself in a position where I'm not going to let her get seriously injured, but I let her do something even if it looks scary, and try not to get in her way, and ideally I don't want her to necessarily see that I'm right there, because I want her to learn. The best way that she learns is by doing stuff. So that's kind of been my approach, is just to let her experience things and let her figure things out. And so as she gets more mobile, that means, you know, climbing upstairs. It means trying to get off. She's been working on like getting off the couch, like if I bring her up, and then she's learning to like turn around and slide off the couch. And you know, standing up on things, walking around things with edges, and you know, you picture all these things happening, but you have to just sort of let them do it. And she gets bumps and bruises along the way, but I feel like it's really important for her development to not be hindered by me. Like, I don't want to get in her way. I just want to make sure she's safe and then let her do the learning. because kids are the best learners. About her personality, she's quiet, she's serious, she is inquisitive, she likes to like watch and observe something for a while before she responds, but she's also very, she's happy and she's a positive person to be around. She gets a lot of smiles from strangers when we're out. My husband and I are always surprised, like, I'm sure all babies, of course, all babies get smiles because babies are cute. But it just feels like everywhere we go, people are engaged with her and talking to her and, oh, what a cute baby, and this and that. And she smiles at them. And, you know, people who we know and who are around us, they describe her as being engaging, like she's very engaged. And seems to be like a part of the group. She's fun to have around, and both my husband and I have just been loving it as she gets older, just really enjoying the family dynamic that we're growing into. You know, having her as part of our family, it feels very natural. She has an awesome personality. That does lead me into another topic, and more about me, like my 9-month postpartum. One of the things my husband and I have been talking a lot about this last month, and kind of, you know, he sort of brought it up to me, was finding or getting back time just for me so that I can have an identity away from being a mom. You know, again, in a positive way, like you want to have time for yourself so that you can be your best person at all times. That includes being your best mom. You need to have me time so that you can, you know, have an identity. And so he and I have been talking a lot about sort of me stepping back a little bit. I guess since she's been born, she has been my entire life, and being a mom has been my 24/7 preoccupation and occupation. And it's not like I'll ever not be a mom 24 hours a day, but she's getting old enough, she's to a point where I can start getting some of my own identity back and doing things that are just for me. One of the things we did this month that was for us and for our relationship was we finally had our first real date. My parents came over and babysat, and then my husband and I went and we saw the National Symphony Orchestra play Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, which was really cool. They showed the movie on a big screen, and then the orchestra was there playing the soundtrack as the movie went. It was really awesome. So that was our first sort of real date, and it made us both realize how important it is to take that time, because you forget that you are still you. Like, you are still you as a couple, we're still us, but you forget it when the baby's around because everything is about the baby. So yeah, that's been something else I've been working on this month, is getting back my own identity and maybe sort of redefining my own identity. I don't know what that means. And then also spending time with my husband and us having just adult time. I know I didn't talk about absolutely every little thing that she did this month, but I kind of wanted this update for my own sake. I wanted it to be a snapshot of the moment, and so I feel like I branched into some sort of different topics today, but I'm glad I did that. And as you can see, I didn't even attempt to hold her for this because I cannot keep her still, and so I hope it, you know, it's been fun watching her crawl around and just play while I do this. I'm gonna have to do a lot of editing on this video because there have been many times where I had to get up and go grab her. Anyway, other little things, again, I will add at the end of this video, like pictures or cute videos. You know, she did a lot of cute things this month. Like she learned how to jump. She doesn't take her feet off the ground, but she sort of bounces. We visited her two older cousins, a 2.5-year-old and a 6-year-old, over 4th of July weekend, and they have a little trampoline, and she would watch her 2.5-year-old cousin jump on that, and so she learned how to jump. It's really sweet, and I'll insert stuff like that. You know, eating, she's an expert eater now. She eats like a big girl. I mean, like a big girl, 9-month-old. That's all. Yeah, I'll include all that stuff at the end, so that this doesn't get too long-winded, which probably too late for that. And yeah, so that is the 9-month update for Sophie, and part of me getting back into my own personality again in my own life is making more videos on YouTube that are my own content and not just baby stuff. I think I'm ready to do that now. So you can expect more content to be coming out and not just all baby updates. So yeah, I guess that's it for now, and thank you if you've made it this far. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video, whatever that is. I'm gonna say bye-bye. I'm gonna say bye-bye, Sophie. Say bye. Bye-bye. No, you wanted to. You say bye-bye. Bye-bye, friends. I'll see you later. Thanks for watching. Yeah, bye-bye. Bye. 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 Alright, bye, guys.
Shower. I only slept on there a few times.
Are you swinging with Mama? Hi! Is it fun?